Fallout 76, the worst Bethesda game launch they've ever had. How's it still so popular? I wasn't sure. More importantly, I wanted to know
if it's not fun, why bother?
I was curious, so I decided to play the game since I kinda like Fallout. A post-apocalyptic America full of mutated animals, muscular boys, and drug production. What's not to love? As I did a bit more research, apparently over the years, the game became a bit better. Now, I wasn't sure when the nuclear Steam review bombs hit, so I was genuinely curious. For starters, I realized that this game can be played in single player and multiplayer. It doesn't force you to play with other people, unless you feel like joining in on events. One minute you could play with other people, the next minute you could be off exploring. The more I played, the more I saw things that wasn't really intended, like broken glitches or exploits, which still exist in this game. Some well-known glitches that haven't been patched out since the beginning of this game are door clipping and reality warping. I think it's pretty out of this world. I'm sorry, that's such a cheesy joke. It seems like every other week or so, there's a new glitch discovered in this game, and the way I find out about it is by YouTube videos of people making them. It's not a trade secret or anything, you could even look this up yourself. Bethesda for the most part fixes some, and when I say fix, I mean temporarily put a bandage over it because the exploits just resurface about a week later. I don't even know how people figure this stuff out. There are hacked items like this Nuka Quantum Paddle Ball, which is just a modified paddle strapped with an empty bottle. And as cool as it looks, it doesn't do much damage. Except maybe on the trading community, since most of this stuff is illegal. There's also glitched items that you aren't meant to get, like pet rocks, or a box, surprisingly. People like to display these in their homes as a collectible. I'm not sure why. So some of you might ask, what's the story of this game? It doesn't really matter, it's just good guys versus bad guys, you're sandwiched between two slices of stale bread, and have to make the ultimate decision of choosing. That doesn't really have any impact whatsoever for the game, so that's your story.
But there is one big difference with this game. It's that each of those characters is a real person.
How are the folks at Foundation doing? If I wasn't so busy, I'd go visit sometime. You'd think with all that tinkering Skippy does that he'd have come up with something more medicinal.
What really connects everything together is the community, because everyone is usually wholesome and kind, which isn't what you expect from a game set in a post-apocalyptic future. It's built upon a foundation of trust to rally against Bethesda and the way they do things. For gamers to be joined together and be oppressed together. One odd thing about this game that sets it apart from other MMOs that I've seen is that it doesn't have a chat. So the only way to communicate with other people is either with a microphone, like the old Call of Duty Xbox days, or emoting. I like to think that Bethesda wanted a main character that was a mute. This was probably what they were going for.
You'll be who you want, exploring a huge world, doing quests, experiencing a story, and leveling up. We love those things about our games too. It would not have it any other way. But also, like many of you, we have always wanted to see what our style of game could be with multiplayer. So many of us talk about experiences in our games, but we've never experienced them together.
The main attraction to Fallout 76 are legendary items. You may know them from Fallout 4. I contribute the ideas of these items similar to gacha items, except you don't pay with real money, you pay with time. Collecting legendary items, you may think, oh, you could just fight something that drops them. Yeah, you can do that, but you earn them through a variety of ways, none of which require money. Well, not that I can think of, unless you go against TOS and buy it off eBay or a shady third-party website, of which there are many to your choosing. It's not just the legendary items that draw people in, such as myself. You can see that there's different varieties of legendaries, ones that were known as legacies, which are removed because they're too overpowered. And then legendary items that are glitched in a way where it provides extra stat bonuses. Then, there are some items that were cut from the game and then hacked in somehow. There are legendary items that you can receive from quests and even craft them, but for the most part, they are what you expect. Crap. The fun is in gathering and the RNG of it all. If the game just handed you things, you wouldn't have the fun of bullshit RNG re-rolling for the right legendary effects. For example, there's Quad, which increases a magazine size by 400%, which also means it increases the reload time by 400%. In all seriousness though, I like testing out guns and all in their magnificent action-packed glory. The way Bethesda controls this gacha mechanic is by time gating everything. And for the most part, to re-roll for legendary item effects on a weapon, you need script. How do I get script? Well, you gotta dismantle legendary items for it and other time-consuming ways. It seems like Bethesda doesn't really like the idea of players trading, since for the most part, the fun stuff is untradeable. You know, the stuff that is tradable and almost always the 4 same weapons. Some people say it's because of real money trading and duplicating, which to me just sounds like a bunch of gibberish and excuses. Every game has real money trading, every game has bots, and every game has creepy people. So, why can't I trade this alien disintegrator? I can trade this alien blaster. How does that even make any sense? The way people trade things in this game is very interesting. It's done by dropping items on the floor because some items are worth more than the currency. So by doing that, it becomes a cowboy standoff of who drops their items first to get scammed. Luckily for me, I didn't get scammed in this one. The Sims, the life simulator as old as time, where you could build your own dream Barbie house however you want. Similarly in this game,
You can build wherever you want. And you can also then move that to wherever you want.
even on top of a mountain or even under it, where most people can't reach. How am I supposed to peruse your wares if it's that high? There's no end game, there's early game. From the get-go, you can join in with other high-level players and do the exact same content that they do. No matter what it is, for the most part, it's scaled for your level, or their level. I'm not exactly sure. The only difference is the level of armor and the weapons you get, which nobody tends to give a fuck about in events as long as you come locked and loaded.
And that sometimes it doesn't just work.
I blast things apart with my shotgun, that's all that matters. It just has the ba-bam. Oh yeah, one thing that kinda pissed me off, and it's a very small thing, is that there's no shared storage. So if I wanted to transfer items, I either have to do it through the trust system, or find a new friend to help me move, because it doesn't work this way. Honestly, all in all, it's a pretty fun game to turn your brain off and play. It doesn't require any effort to play. Just get a gun, point, and shoot, or with other players. Or if you don't want to, you can fly solo as the lone wanderer. The community overall is pretty friendly, and I enjoyed my time playing. In short, I think it's just a culmination of glitches, guns, and friends you made along the way that makes it a Fallout game. Which is fun. Like every other Fallout game.
Against the ungodly power of the Mothman! Against the divine power of the Mothman!
Anyways, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't, it really does help me a lot. And also, if you'd like, come join our Discord. We're a pretty friendly community. And other than that, hope you take care, and I'll see you guys.